Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Water Bear Podcast. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been here since day one, welcome. Glad to have you either way. And on this journey for season 8, can't believe it's already been 8 seasons of the podcast. And so, as you may know, the theme of this season is all about love. So, we're talking about why you'll love each of the 12 zodiac signs. So we did the ick of each sign in season 6. And so now we're doing the opposite of that for this season. So just a few things we want to get out the way before we get started. So sharing and liking and commenting and all that is caring. But hey, subscribing is thriving. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime new content drops on the channel. And you can catch the drip and new episodes every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also on social media, you can follow me for more content on Instagram at Poetic, and that's PEAUXETIC, and TikTok at PEAUXETIC with the number 7 at the end. You can also follow my guest for tonight, Sandrella J. Wilkerson Bush. Make sure you follow her. I said the full government name. Follow her as well. And she is a great friend. She's a Capricorn. She's repping Capricorns for this evening. And she is a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. And she is a wonderful poet, spoken word artist. She's a teacher. She's an author, multiple time author. And she also is the wife of Evan Bush, my brother. So we all met at church years ago. It's been, I think, about 20 years now. It's been a long time that we have known each other and all been friends. So honored to have her on tonight. And you can follow Sandrella on Instagram at SandyBlue1729. I'm going to spell that out. That's SANDI Blue, BLUE, all together. And then the number 1729. So again, that's SANDI BLUE 1729. Or you can follow her on Facebook with the government name, Sandrella J. Wilkerson Bush. So before I bring her out, you know how we do every episode here. I always mention a famous person of the sign. So a famous Capricorn, in case you all did not know, is Gayle King. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring out Sandrella to join us.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. Did you like how I gave the full government name?
Yes, the full government name. I hope nobody trying to get any type of dependence or anything for income tax purposes.
Right.
I wish them the best of luck with that, though. You know, feel free to pay my stuff off while you're doing yours. Knock yourself out.
Right. That's the best kind of identity theft, right? Make me debt free while you at it.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna give a blessing, why not? I'm just
right. I love it. But this is an honor to have you on. Believe it or not, because I'm always thinking ahead. So when I thought of season 6 for the ick, I said, I want to save Sandrella for season 8. So I was already thinking ahead for season 8. And so I was like, I think this would be really cool. So I was so honored that you said yes. I don't take that for granted. I know you're super busy with everything that you're doing. So with that, I'll turn it over to you. Any other things that you want to let the viewers and listeners know?
I think that's a pretty good bio. I'm listening to you. I'm like, wow, I do a lot. Like,
you do.
Amazing. I
need to
about myself. So yeah.
Hey,
but I'm very honored to. If for guys who do not know, Carlos is like a mentor to me in the writing and in the poetry world.
To me as well.
So, I've even gone as far as using his poetry in my class with my students. I regret nothing. So
hey, I appreciate that for real.
It is what it is. And so this is truly a blessing for me as well. And to be able to talk about the beautiful parts of a Capricorn, which, you know, for us is not always the thing that people see. It's pretty cool. I receive it. I'm here for it.
Okay. Hey, I love it. All right. So with that said, if you don't mind sharing your birthday with the viewers and the listeners.
Yes. I was actually born January 8th, 1987.
Okay. Hey, okay. January 8th. Hey, season 8, January 8th. Love it.
I know, right?
8's all the way around.
Hey, it's gonna work out for you. This one's gonna be the best for you. I can definitely tell you
Hey, hey, I receive it. I receive it. I love it. Okay. Well, hey, I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna give you the thing that just me as an outsider, I appreciate and I love the most about a Capricorn. And their candid honesty. I feel like a Capricorn, you're going to always know where they're coming from. There's some other signs that maybe give their opinion maybe in an unwarranted way. That's another thing I love about Capricorn. Capricorns, in my experience, they don't do that. I feel like you all may sit back and watch certain things and maybe say, okay, I wouldn't do it that way, or I don't like that. But maybe, I don't know the reason why. Maybe you just feel like I'm not going to butt in. Maybe you don't want to hurt that person's feelings, but you don't. Well, yeah. Now I will say Capricorn doesn't mind hurting the feeling or two if it's for a good cause.
Yeah, there you go. I'm about
yeah.
Depends on what day it is.
Right.
And whatnot. But no, and first off, thank you on behalf of us, because we kind of feel like there's a lot of weight on our shoulders a lot of times. And so part of the reason why I think we have to be so candid is because we don't have the mental space to lie, because that means we would have to remember it. And then if I have to remember it on top of all the other stuff I got to do, like I can't be the productive person I am that you consider as a person to depend on. And so I think we do that because we can't do anything else. Like us having to lie and remember the lie, then I got that's too much work. We're too efficient for that. That's the word I'm gonna use.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, Capricorns are very efficient, and I never heard it put that way, but that makes a lot of sense because Capricorns also, I feel like when I hear Capricorn, that's also synonymous with ambition.
Yeah,
Capricorns are very ambitious, go-getters. They're going to be the people that probably first in the office, last to leave.
Yep.
That's just the Capricorn vibe.
That's our way. Yeah, it is. And the thing is, it can be ambitious in a positive way and ambitious in a negative way. So I think it just depends on our intentions and who we are as people, how we choose to grow or how we choose to take in information as to which path we go to. But it's kind of like I think about that scene from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, where Harry got his wand and he found out that his wand had the same core as the core that he who must not be named had. And so Ollivander said, like, that person did great things. Bad, but they were great. And so it's that same idea. Whatever it is that we choose to put our heart and soul into, because yes, we do have a heart. I think people need to clearly understand we do. We don't use it a lot, but we have it. And so but
it's there.
In us the way that we showcase, what we love and what we have is through our ambition. And so it depends on what's going on as to what we want to accomplish, as to whether that could be a great thing or we could be your worst nightmare. Just depends on what day you catch us.
Oh,
and what we want to do.
I've definitely luckily I haven't been the witness or the recipient of it. I'll say that I've been witness of that happening to other people. And you said something that's really key. You said ambition in a positive way or in a negative way. So when you say negative, do you mean negative as far as maybe causing self-harm because you just go, or maybe in other ways too?
Yeah, it can also be in other ways, not because we're so ambitious and we're so driven. A lot of times we don't think about things. And by things, I mean, we may not think about ourselves because we're driving and trying to get something accomplished. We may not think about the people, honestly, we may hurt along the way. And so that kind of makes it seem like we're selfish in a sense because we're only focused on our our needs of what we need to accomplish so that we can complete whatever goal or whatever dream or whatever aspiration that we have. And so that's why it could go either way. It just really depends. And as a person who has done both, I have been the ambitious person to where I have hurt myself. I've also been the ambitious person to where I have made the world a better place. Um, it really is something we learn how to handle as we get older, or as we get more wisdom, I should say. Because when we start off, and a lot of times for us, especially as kids, you'll notice that a lot of Capricorns, we're going to probably be the people who are the top of everything. We're going to be the person who's going to be a drum major. We may be the person who's number one in the class, president of whatever, like president of a line or something to that extent. That's kind of our thing.
Right.
But when we're kids, a lot of times we don't think about who or what that may hurt in that process. And because we have so much responsibility on our shoulders, it's difficult sometimes to see how we're impacting people. Now, as we get older, we realize, oh, we probably shouldn't do that because that may cause a lot of problems in the long run. But
Right.
yeah, it takes us having to go through those experiences and to go through that, to a certain extent, pain, for us to understand how our ambition needs to be more positive and
I love
negative.
that. Wow. Okay. So you had a few nuggets there. I definitely want to unpack. Okay. So,
Oh, by all means, I got time. I'm just saying.
and every time we get together, I feel like it's always a great conversation. So
Right. And we
the
don't
only
know when to
difference,
stop talking. That's the problem. Like, I feel bad for the people because I'm like 45 minutes. Yeah, this may end up being a little bit longer. But
a little
okay, go
longer.
off. Let's see what happens.
I love, but
Right.
we always have. I feel like we always have a great conversation, and the only difference is there's just a mic and a camera this time.
Yep,
So
that's it.
that's it.
That's literally the biggest difference.
That's right. But yeah, you mentioned a lot being on Capricorn shoulders, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking about you, and then I have other Capricorn friends, and even those who maybe more associates or not
Mhm.
friends. That's true. And
Mhm.
do you think that more is placed on a Capricorn shoulders because they are so ambitious and they are so driven that maybe life or the universe, I'm not saying the universe isn't not
Mhm.
believing in God. I'm a Christian, y'all, but whatever. Like there's this attraction
No,
to
that 100%, you're correct.
more.
Like, no, you're you're
Okay.
you're 100% correct. It's And I know I make a lot of movie references, but I'm sorry. In Roll
No, I
Bounce,
love
when Kobe
references.
said he was clutch, that is literally us. We are the ones with the size 15 skating shoe making everything work, even though we wear a size 11. Like that is that is 100%
Right.
our world. And part of it is because I don't mean to be cocky, but we built for it. Like that,
Well,
I
yeah.
feel like
Yeah, I agree.
because we are at the beginning of the year, we set a tone that has to kind of allow everybody else to be able to be themselves. And
Mhm.
so, because we take care of that part of being dependable, or being responsible, being ambitious, and being driven, we allow everyone else to be able to be who they are authentically. So, I'm
Mhm.
I don't regret a single moment of being born on January 8th at 4:30 p.m. Interrupting my mama's Young and the Restless rerun, by the way. She's still mad at me for that.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, she was really mad. She was really upset because she missed 11 o'clock too, so it was a whole thing.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So she
but
missed the whole day.
it was a whole day thing, and she was just frustrated. But I think that's a part of what we are, is we allow for we take that on so that you can be whatever it is that you want to be. And that's not saying
Mhm.
that the rest of the zodiac signs don't have their greatness and have their strengths and have the amazing things that they bring into this world, but that just so happens to be ours.
Mhm.
And we understand that. Most of us understand that. So because we understand that, we understand what we have to do, and
Mhm.
we understand that a bit ambition, drive, dependability, that's gonna be a big chunk of what our personality is, and that's what people tend to depend on so that they can have some type of stability. Because sometimes out here it's hard to find people that are consistent.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
even consistently dumb. It's hard to find people who are consistent. And,
That's
and
true. That's
so
hard to find sometimes
it's
too.
hard to find. And so because consistency sometimes is like a rarity, you look to Capricorns to be that because that's all we can be. Like we can't
Mhm.
be anything else. We
Mhm.
have to be that because we know that that's how we operate. That's kind of like our love language for everybody else. We are I can't believe
Love
that
that
did that in the middle of this. But
No, it's good.
but
It was right on cue.
yeah, I know. Just it really was. So, but part of what that's a part of our fabric, and so it
Mhm.
makes it easier for us to be able to operate because we know what we can give to everyone else, and we know what we
Mm.
can help everybody see. So it may not be something they have to worry about. I mean, we're cool with that.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And I love what you said about how Capricorns give other people space to be them because I feel like
Yep.
a Capricorn, this has just been my experience. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, if a Capricorn's thinking, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like if you let me do me, I'm gonna let you have all the space in the world to do you.
Thank you. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
Like, don't don't try to put us into something that we're not, because most of us mature Capricorns, we know what we can handle and what we can't.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
again, as we're younger, a lot of times we don't see that because we're so driven and we're so ambitious and we're trying to, meet the needs of others, or we're trying to figure out what it is that we really want. But when we get into a space where we know what our stability looks like. We know what our
Mhm.
drive looks like. We know what
Mhm.
our ambition looks like. Let us work. Because if you let us work, we're gonna let you do that. And we're gonna let you be whatever it is that you want to be, no matter how much we may think is crazy. If you want to be a stripper in Florida with Florida man running around here, we're gonna let you do that. We're gonna respect
It's,
it. And we will even
hey,
support you and buy chicken wings at the strip
and
joint.
cheer you on. Right, right, right,
We don't
right.
cheer you on. We
We're
have
gonna hype
no
you
problem
up.
doing that. But don't question when we asking you, so when you gonna own your own strip joint? When you gonna do this? Like, don't
Mm.
question us when we do that,
Hmm.
because one thing about us, we want to see the people around. We are okay with being in control, but we also understand it takes a village. Mature Capricorns, in my opinion, understand that we can be leaders, but we can also be the people that are servants. We can
Hmm.
follow just as much as we can be in charge. And
Hmm.
so we try to build or cultivate villages that understand that about us so that we can allow them to give to us however they need to. Most of the people who are in my coast village, they are Libras, they are Tauruses, they are Sagittarius. I'm all over the
Mm.
place. Like,
Right.
oh my,
Same. Me too.
I
Yeah.
got Leos in my bunch. I got Leos, I got Cancers, and the reason I think I have so many different people is because they allow me to be the person I am, so I allow them the space to be who they are,
Hmm.
and I appreciate what they are. I think that's the people thing. People think because we're so driven, we're not paying attention. We are.
Right.
We
Right.
we are. We just don't
Yes.
we don't feel the need to have to say something all the time about that. We can be okay with letting you
Mhm.
know we think you do a good job, or we don't have to tell you in front of your friends. Heck, we don't even have to
Yeah.
be present all the time in order for you to know that we love you. We do. We just
Yeah.
have a different way of showing it. And so when we are allowed to be who we are truly, we'll allow you that space to be able to be whoever it is you want to be as well.
Mm. I love
Mhm.
that. And I think too, what people don't understand, and not like you're doing this, when I say you, just
Mhm.
anybody,
Mhm.
figuratively, doing this to reap a benefit. But
Mm.
I'm a firm believer in a relationship, in a business partnership, a family situation. If you truly let the other person be who they are,
Mhm.
you can't help but reap the benefit of that, because if they're operating in their full self,
Mhm.
just like you said with the stripper analogy, they're
Yeah.
gonna they're gonna hype you up. They're gonna bring you the
Yep.
chicken wings. They're gonna write out the business plan. Like, okay, this
Right.
is cool, but why don't you take Thursday off so that we can figure out how you can own your own?
That's it. That's what
Yeah.
we'll do for you. And that's us using our gifts to help you exceed in whatever it is that you want to be.
Mhm.
And part of the reason why we do that is because, again, that's our way of expressing love or expressing our adoration towards you. And it's also a form of gratitude because
Mhm.
we understand the type of person that we can be. And it's really hard to get close to a Capricorn and not get hurt. It's really hard for
Mm.
us because we are very protective of ourselves as well. So in that ambition, we're also thinking, is this person going to hurt me? Is this person going to take me off
Ah.
of my task, of what my
Mhm.
goal is? Is this person going to cause me any type of emotional issues? And if we answer yes to any of those, good luck getting into our world because
Woo.
we will
Yeah.
happily not. We will tell you at the door, nah, we good. Nah, I'm not doing that. I've had to do that to
Yeah.
I had to do that to people. And people think I'm really nice and I'm really cool and I'm really awesome. And to be honest, I can be, but I'm very protective
Mhm.
with my energy because I know how sacred it is. And
Mm.
so for you to be able to receive that, and don't get me wrong, once you receive my energy, I promise you, you're not going to regret it. I will be the best thing in your
Oh
world.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But to get to
Totally
that,
agree.
it takes a lot of work. And so in our mind, if it took you that much work and you actually stayed patient, you stayed the course, you remain, even though we tried to push you back as far as we possibly could, then you deserve the love and adoration that we give you.
Mm.
And that's why a lot of times people look at Capricorns like, how can somebody even like that person? Well, it's a matter of if you're willing to work for it, because
Right.
that's how we work. We work for whatever it is that we accomplish or whatever it is that we do. We bust our behinds to make sure that we get that accomplished. So, in a way, we expect that from other people as well. And we respect if you don't want to do that. Like, if you don't want to be
Yeah.
in this relationship with us, cool. You have fun wherever it is you go. But understand that getting into my good graces again, it's gonna
Uh-huh.
take you a while. Like
Yeah.
I remember I was friends with somebody temporarily, and
Uh-oh.
I say temporary, that's
Not
literally how it
temporarily.
happened. Like that person, when they literally said a season or a reason, this person was here for a season, and I mean roughly 120 days. And
Oh, short
so
season.
right, it was a short season. And the biggest thing I remember her telling me as to the reason why we could no longer be friends, she said, "You love too hard. And the way
Mm.
you love, I can't handle it."
Mm.
And I said, "I respect that. Because at least you know the type of person that I am and who I will be in the friendship that we have or the relationship we have. If you understand that that's the type of person I'm going to be, I respect the fact for you to leave. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And you're saving both of us time and energy,
Yes.
honestly, with you
Mhm.
choosing not to be present. So it's a win-win for both of us, honestly. And
It
I'm okay.
is.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And I think Capricorns do have a wall up a lot of times, but I do
Mhm.
feel like what you said because the energy and what's beyond that wall is so sacred. So
Yep.
I agree. And so it does feel, and I felt that way. And I think because Aquarius kind of has this reputation of being like emotionally cold. Like it doesn't
Mhm.
phase me
Right.
because I'm like, all right, okay, I get it. You got to put the work in. But I
Mhm.
understand that, with a Capricorn, it might not be a regular wall. It might be a wall and it might have some algae on it and it might have a
Yep.
barbed wire on this side.
Mhm.
And like you said, to your point, if you make it to the top
Mhm.
for all of that, then yeah, you deserve to get to the other side.
Right. And we but the thing is just getting there. That
Mhm.
patience that you have to have with a Capricorn, it's a lot. I applaud. Like I'm still shocked I have a husband even after 20 years.
And y'all are great. Y'all are honestly
Oh
one of
God,
my
I
favorite
am
couples.
thoroughly shocked I have a husband, because I promise you, you would have asked the 17-year-old Capricorn me, I would have been like, I ain't doing no husband, I ain't got time for that foolishness. And it was true. That's literally how I
That's
thought.
how you
I
thought? Oh
thought
wow.
I was gonna be single. There was no one who could handle me, and I knew I was a lot. Like I at least came to terms with that. But that's because my standards were high, and also because as a Capricorn, I am very ambitious, and I want to do things, and I don't want anybody standing in my way to be able to do that. So to be able to find someone who respected that and actually was a very big cheerleader to that, I'm
Mm.
super grateful. Like, universe, God, whoever did it, appreciate you, because
Yeah.
I think that he's been one of the best people to be in my life, and he's helped me to grow as a person. And he's a Cancer, which is really funny because it seems
Uh,
like with our signs, we are stubborn, we are everything.
yeah. Yeah. But it's a
And
great balance, it seems.
it is.
Yeah.
It really is a great balance. We make each other laugh. A lot of times what I don't have, he has, and what he doesn't have, I have. So it's kind of like it's it's a positive tug of war between each other in order for us to make the relationship work. And so for him, it took a while. It took a very long time for me to let go of past experiences I had with other relationships,
Mhm.
issues I had with my family. So like when you talked about the algae and the barbed wire, yeah, that was my past relationships, my family, other disappointments I had. All those things
Mm.
were in his way, and he was like, okay, I'm still gonna get through it, but it may take me a minute, but I'm still gonna be here for it. And he's been here. And so I'm very grateful that, yeah, it takes a lot. It does take a lot for us to be able to open up and to be able to feel comfortable with being ourselves with you. But once you get that from us, it is the best thing that could ever happen to your life, because we
Mm.
promise you, we will pour into you, we will invest in you, we will do whatever it is in our own way for us to make
Yes.
sure
Mhm.
that whatever it is that you need, we will try our best to provide. So yeah, it's hard, but it's worth it.
Huh. Yeah. And you can see it with the two of y'all. I've seen, like I said, known y'all and grown to be
Mhm.
friends with y'all over the years.
Mhm.
And there are certain relationships where you can just see where,
Yep.
okay, this isn't for the camera, this isn't for social media. Like y'all have a real thing.
Yeah. But again, it was a real thing that we both worked on. There were
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
there were obstacles that we had in both of our past that we both had to deal with, and we had to come to terms with. And even understanding, and honestly, to be truthful,
Mhm.
knowing our zodiac signs kind of helped. So um
Oh, I can see
yeah,
that.
it did. It
Hmm.
really did. So whenever there was like a point, maybe I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, where I decided I wanted to become a mature Capricorn, and I wanted to actually, yeah, because the immature one is gonna be the one that's driven for no reason. And so
Right, right. I'm
um
just gonna do
this,
it.
yeah, the adult one is gonna want to pay her bills on time and stuff like that, actually be semi-responsible for herself, not just everybody else, right?
Right.
And so I started doing research kind of like on personality traits. So I looked up,
Mm.
my I was an INTJ. I looked up what it meant to be a Capricorn. I did an Enneagram to find out what my number was. Like, I was all over the place.
Wow.
And like the things I saw that were similar between those different personality traits, those were things I accepted, that was a part of my core, and that's who I
Mm.
truly am. And
Mhm.
I for the longest I would try to deny them, because I would try to be somebody else, or I would try to be what somebody else wanted.
Right.
And so that's why I talk about like the ambition, but the negative side to it, because if you're trying to be something you're not, it's very, very difficult to
Mhm.
be true to yourself and to know
Mhm.
who you are.
Right.
That's the big thing. It's hard for you to know who you are. So when I did all this research and I found out those things about me, then it made me realize, oh, that's why my husband likes me for who I am. These are
Uh,
the things that he sees in me. Like, it helped me to be
okay.
able to honestly love myself. because that was something I wasn't doing. And that's something that we Capricorns tend to not do. Like, we'll love everybody else that comes into our world. Don't get me wrong. But
Yes,
because we already are not as emotional as everybody else is, we ain't gonna think about the love for us. We just gonna be like, oh, we love them. So since we
that's
love them,
true.
we do.
And
Like,
you just put yourself on the back burner.
right. And that's what happened. And so I had to learn how to accept things about me and appreciate things about me. So it took my husband, it took my village, it took me letting go of some people, it took me
Mhm.
bringing some people into my life, for them to make me realize how much I can be happy with me as I am, as ambitious as I am, as driven as I am, as much as I love multitasking and organizing and putting things into perspective and being a safe space for people. Like, it was learning that is, I think, what made the mature Capricorn I am now. Because now I understand how my actions can impact others, but also how my actions can impact me. And that's sometimes what we forget. We
Yeah,
forget how
that's
stuff ends up
important.
hitting us. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you wow, that's amazing. I love that. You led me into a segment, so I'm doing this with everybody this season. So this is called Figure Eight.
Okay.
So within the last 8 years, and
Mhm.
so again, this is so perfect because your birthday's on the 8th. But what is the single thing, if you have one, that
Mhm.
you feel has really shaped who you are today?
Ah, um, that is a great question. And honestly, I will tell you, and this is gonna sound random as ever,
Hey, no, that's all right.
a
Excuse me.
a soccer game.
Really?
A soccer game. Like,
Okay, how
that's
so?
really what happened. So, um, I want to say maybe 2 years ago now, I had to work a soccer game for my
Mhm.
school. And when I work the soccer game and I do like the clock, I'm usually in a location by myself. So I don't really have to be around people, which works for me as an introvert because I don't really want to talk to anybody anyway. And so
Right.
at the time, whenever I was working the game, I was thinking about a career change. I was literally thinking about leaving the classroom.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
and it was because I was going through a lot of changes at the time. Like, I was having some epiphanies about myself. That was also around the time where I started doing like the personality search. I
Hmm.
found out some truths from family members and stuff like that. And so everything was like culminating at once. And I was trying to handle everything while still being a wife, while still doing my job, while still doing my other jobs.
Right.
And like, my brain was like, okay, maybe we should tap out of education. Maybe this is it. And so I remember uh I was I had my computer out when I was doing the game because there's not much I could do at a soccer game, but just make sure the timer
Right.
goes and that's it. There's not much I can do. They gonna score 60 goals. There's nothing I can do for them. And so I was looking up um the roles and responsibilities of a project manager because that's where I said I was gonna move next.
Mhm.
And something in God or the universe, don't know which one it was, told me look up the role of a principal. And I said, principal? I don't do that. Like, that's not me. And for
Right.
those who don't know, like, I'm a devout supporter of teachers. Like, that is my thing. And
Yes, you are.
it's where I live. It's where I've lived for like the past 15 years. So I was like, I don't want to be no principal or nothing like that. And I have shunned being in leadership positions on purpose. So that day during the soccer game, I went and I pulled up a window that had project management and I pulled up a window that had principal, and they had the same similar
Wow.
role and responsibilities. And when that happened, I cried. I
Hmm.
cried when I was in that booth crying for like a good 30 minutes because it was then that it clicked. And God and the universe were like, I've been trying to tell you this for 15 years, but you haven't been listening to me. So let me mess up a soccer game real quick for you.
Right.
And right,
Right.
let me mess up a soccer game real quick for you. And
Right.
so I remember right after that, like somebody on our team scored a point. So I put the point and went back to crying.
Right. And that's such a Capricorn thing to do. Let me
Right.
turn
Like
off
I
these
still did
emotions
my
real quick.
job. I still did my job while I'm also in the midst of having an episode.
Right.
And so when I tell you, I cried and I said, no, this can't be it. This is not what I wanted. This is not,
Mm.
I'm not built for this. Like there were so many different things I tried to tell myself to snap out of it. And every single one, God and the universe had an answer for it. And so
Wow.
I said, that was that day or that night is when it started, just a chain reaction of just snowball effect stuff happening. Right after that is when I decided to become a principal and
Right.
start my principal certification process. That was also when I had to have like a conversation with a very important person in my family, and it wasn't an easy conversation. Like all the things I had been avoiding as
Mm.
a younger Capricorn were now coming to light in this space. And it was because I had to change. Like whatever it was I was doing before wasn't conducive for me to be able to survive. So that moment is what started that snowball effect of just different things happening in my life, where I started facing the truth more. I started taking care of myself more. I started depending on my village more.
Wow.
And again, things that we're not known for, think that were things that I actually started doing. And so, yeah, it took a soccer game and a
Wow.
30-minute crying fit in the
Hey,
middle
look
of
at
a soccer game
that.
in
Look
order
at
for me to
God.
be like, things got to move differently now. I can't do this no more.
Right.
Yeah.
I Wow. I love that. I love that. And did you find, because I found this in my own life, and I kind of wonder this about other people.
Hmm.
It seems like hard situations, hard conversations, or those pivotal points where you think, okay, maybe I may be making a career change or a different kind of change in life. Do you feel like, I guess this is a two-part question. Do you feel like those kind of things come in clusters? Because I feel like they do for me. And then also, do you feel like, okay, once you take that leap of faith on one,
Hmm.
then the other things seem to be, they're not easy, but they seem to be a
Hmm.
little bit easier.
No, that's a very good way to describe it. Because when that soccer game happened, it was the soccer game in February, the hard conversation in April. Like it was just
Mm,
things that
mhm.
started building one after the other. And having that epiphany in February at the game was probably the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I had to come to terms with. And the situation that happened after that was also hard too. But I found that as I kept dealing with the situations and I kept operating in truth in those situations, it was easier to handle because
I
I
love that.
wasn't going against my natural nature, if that
Right.
makes sense. And
It
people
does.
don't have to believe it or not, but a part of your zodiac sign is your nature. I
Mhm.
truly believe
I
that
agree.
there's a piece of you that is truth inside of it. And so once you start operating in that truth, it's a lot easier for you to handle life, whether
Mhm.
life is people, whether life is your job, whether life is, that one auntie that always wants to dance with younger people at the wedding, whatever it may be for you, whatever floats
Right,
your boat.
right.
I mean, once you start operating in that piece of who you are, it's a lot easier for you to deal with difficult situations. And
Mm,
so it made it easier for me to make choices. Choices that I had to make for me. And sometimes people didn't like it, but because I understood who I was now versus who I was before, it was a lot
mm,
easier for me to move forward. So yeah, it comes in clusters,
hmm.
but once it happens, you kind of start realizing what you can and cannot handle, and you start operating in that
Yeah,
truth. It moves a lot. It doesn't move faster, but you move more efficient in the
I agree.
process. Yeah.
I totally agree. I agree. I love that. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So before we get to the last segment, so this is a little bit of a lighter note.
Yep.
So ultimate snack. So, and how this works is if you had to describe Capricorn
Mm.
in an ultimate snack, what would that snack be and
Oh
why?
my goodness, that is a great question. Oh my God. Okay. Because all I'm thinking about now is all the snacks I eat. Like, that's the sad
Hey,
part.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. I feel like, I'm going to be honest. It's either one of the two. And both of them going to be inside a black grandma's purse at church. So it's either going to be the peppermint that's been, the peppermint.
The soft one or the hard ones?
See, that's what I'm talking about. It depends on which. Because no matter what happens, it's consistent. It's gonna always make sure your breath gonna smell better because of it.
Yeah.
And it is always gonna be dependable in your grandma's purse. She may not be able to find it for
It'll
about
hold you over till lunch.
Yeah, it'll hold you over to lunch. So like I feel like a peppermint is a great example of what a Capricorn is. Because we are consistent. You ain't gotta worry about what we're gonna taste like. We're gonna taste like a peppermint. Is what it is. Yep. And our goal is to make sure that you are able to at least tolerate yourself until something else happens. Like, I feel like that is definitely us. And then the other candy I was thinking about is the strawberry candy that nobody knows what his name is, but I don't think that one will work. I feel like peppermint is
I know what you're talking about. So is that the old school one that has
like the wrapping, the strawberry
with the green, yeah, with the dots on it, like the strawberry seeds.
Right.
That's it.
Like, we always want it because it always gonna make sure that we feel better about ourselves. But I mean, I would definitely say I would consider us to be like a peppermint. We are always gonna be consistent. We are always gonna be stable. And I mean, if I promise you, when you need us, we're gonna probably always be there. I mean, as long as you're in the black church. Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's true.
As long as you're in the black church, don't matter which one it is, but we're gonna be there.
We're gonna be, yeah. Hey, I love it. Oh, I love it. That's Capricorn. That is.
Yep.
That is. And you know, I even think of you saying how we talked about the wall, getting over the wall. To me, the soft peppermint is for the people who've reached the other side.
Right, exactly. But that hard peppermint, you got to crunch down on it.
Yeah.
That one is for before
you're still climbing. You ain't made it over yet.
And keep in mind, the soft one is going to be more expensive. So it's worth the time that you have to put in.
It is. Yep. That's right. It's more expensive, and I feel like it's rare.
I'm just saying it is. And it's hard to find the big tubs of peppermints. Like,
it is.
It is very difficult to find those these days because a lot of times people pay attention to Skittles and the Starbursts. They don't pay attention to the peppermint, but it's very consistent and dependable. So, definitely that.
Hey, that is so cool. Okay, peppermint it is. I love it. All right. Okay, so we have reached I can't believe it. We're already at the end. So this is the last segment. This flew by. So this last part is called Dead in the Water. And so instead of telling me the thing that you like the best out of these two, you'll tell me the one that you would throw back in the water or the one that you like the least. So it'll be different things. I try to tailor it to each guest. So it's just kind of rapid fire, whichever one comes to your mind first.
You would tell that to a Capricorn when we think too much, but all right, we got
I know, right? Okay. All right. So first one, a spoken word judge or a spoken word participant. Which one you get rid of?
So here's the problem.
I know you've done both.
I've done both, and I throw too many shoes as a judge. So, like, I throw way too many shoes, and I get way too excited because a lot of times I'm encouraging young poets, and to see the way they use their voices, like, I'm so inspired by the future. So I would probably throw participant back in the water.
Okay, just for the
I need the ability to throw my heel. Like, I feel like that's important.
You don't want to lose that.
I don't want to lose that. No, not at all.
I love it. Okay. So this next one, and this is from the perspective of being an author.
Oh God.
Suspense or drama?
I would definitely throw drama. I
Okay.
have no problem with creating books and creating writings that will have people asking me questions. I want that's
Mhm.
one of my big goals as an author. So I don't necessarily need three baby mamas and three baby daddies trying to figure out who is what. No,
Yeah,
let me use words to build stuff up and I'll have fun with it. So drama's definitely gone. It's
I
definitely
agree. Okay.
gone.
All right. So drama hits the water. All right.
Hmm.
So this is another food question.
Okay.
So pasta or potatoes? If you got to throw one away,
I
which
would
one?
probably do potatoes. I actually like pasta. And actually, there's a dish my husband makes, chicken Alfredo, that I actually really like.
Oh,
So, nah, potatoes will
yeah.
have to go. I'm okay with not having fries. I'll be all right.
Okay. Okay. Hey,
Yep.
no more fries.
Yep. No more
All right.
fries
Throw
today.
them
I'm good.
away.
Yep.
All right. So these two female singers, Coco Jones or Money Long, who are you
I
throwing
would,
away?
okay. I'll be honest. I would throw Mooney back.
Okay.
Because I love Coco. I have an infatuation with her. Also, my best friend does. So, Coco, if you're listening, I know somebody for you. But anyway, um, neither here nor there.
Right.
But I've seen her grow up, and I
Mhm.
also appreciate how she stays within her range as a
She does.
singer. She doesn't try to like overdo things or go outside of, like, I like her consistency. That's the big thing. I like her
Uh-huh.
consistency, and I think that taps into me as a Capricorn, seeing that dependability. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I would definitely would throw Mooney Long back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, Money Long. Hey,
Sorry. Gotta go.
twin, you hitting the water.
Yep.
Sorry.
Sorry. You're right.
Sorry. Okay, this is the last one.
Oh my
So, as
God.
an educator, spring
Oh,
break, which I know you're on
right.
now. Well, by
I
the
have
time
heard.
people see this, spring break will
Right.
be over, but I know you're on that
Mhm.
now. Spring break or winter break, which
Oh,
one would
spring
you?
break enthroned. Like I
Okay.
will chuck that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
First off, winter break gives us 2 weeks. Secondly, it's closer
Oh,
to my
true.
birthday.
Ah,
So
okay.
I get time to kind of, and usually, for most of us as teachers, winter break is the end of a semester. So we don't have, like, for at least a week, we don't have to think about anything school related. We can legitimately take a full break.
Okay.
With spring break is in the middle of the school year, of the semester.
Mm,
So, some of
mhm.
us, we'll start planning for what's coming up next during spring break. So you don't really get one. But yeah, I
Right.
would definitely keep winter break, spring break, we out. Like I don't need to be
Yeah.
around this either.
Hey, is it? Oh, wait, wait. I think I
Yep,
saw
that's
it.
nothing. That's
What's
it.
up? Hey,
You already told yourself, you might as well. He saw you.
I'm sorry.
wait, but why am I leaning over thinking that that's gonna help me see? I'm like, hey,
I didn't think the camera was fixed.
Yeah,
what's
it
what's up, Evan?
What's up, man?
did. So
I love it.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely would throw away spring break, 100%.
throwing away that one. Okay. Hey, all right. Well, hey, that's the end of the show. I mean, anything that you want to leave the viewers and the listeners with? Anything you have going on? Anything you want to plug? Anything like that?
Oh wow, there's a lot I have going on. So that needs to be a little more specific.
Right. Well, I guess projects or
Okay, that now that
maybe
makes sense.
in the literary space or
I
anything like
gotta
that.
think about the different hats I wear.
Right.
Because as a teacher, it's almost time for star testing. So
Okay.
just keep our kids in your thoughts and in your prayers, because
I
um,
will.
with everything that we have going on with the state of education,
Hmm.
we are I promise you, there are teachers out there. We are doing our best to make sure that they still get the quality education they deserve. And so
I love
just
that.
keep teachers as well as our students in your thoughts and prayers for that. As a writer, I have finished my third book.
Hey,
It is a
congratulations.
poetry. Thank you. It is a poetry book.
Okay.
Um, and so I'm working with my publisher to kind of decide when it will come out, but it is completed. It is done, and I am I'm very proud of it, because this one is very personal. Also, it kind of taps into like the different personalities I have and me kind of
Okay.
coming to terms with them. So it's very cool to see how people will receive it. And I am working on my 4th book. But this one is too close to home, and the main character is me reincarnated, except it's a dude. And so that's why me and him keep fighting each other. We're gonna get there, but
right.
me and that main
Got a
character
little
keep
battle
fighting.
right now.
Yeah, we having a battle right now, and I am losing horribly. I want to point that out. But eventually I'm gonna get to the finish line. It's gonna take a little longer. Far as being an executive director, Young DFW writers, we are currently on break. We are kind of restructuring everything to get ready for the adjustments that education is about to have, but we are still about activating young voices and making sure that they have a space. Trying to think. Oh, also, as a business owner, TNJ.
That's right.
Yeah, I forget about that. We are booked and busy and blessed. I could definitely tell you that. It's been awesome. Recently it's been a lot of merchandise, and we've been taking a lot of pictures. So, and actually we have an event coming up next week. Now that I think about it, I need to get ready for that. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. And then I guess professionally, I am waiting to see if I have been accepted to the principal certification program for Region 10. And
I'm sure you have that.
When I am accepted, I will start the process of becoming an instructional leader. And I am slowly becoming okay with that. Yeah, I am, because I realize that the person I am, it lends itself to being able to help people as well as lead. And so I love the fact that I'll be another advocate for both students and teachers alike to be able to change the future. So I'm kind of excited about that. And
wow,
that's it.
Exciting.
Yeah. Yep. So
I love it.
Yep.
Hey, but that's what's up. I love it. Well, this has been great, Sandrella, and thank you for really breaking down and helping us see the mind of a Capricorn. And the reasons why people love Capricorn. So again, for everybody that's watching and listening, so this season is all about the love for each sign. So we know every sign has their little quirks and things, but this is all about the good things of the sign.
Yep,
so
this is all about the good things. I promise you, we good people. It's gonna take a while to get to us, but we good people on the inside.
That's
sometimes.
right.
Most of the time.
Not sometimes.
Yeah, I promise you, we are definitely worth the wait. I can tell you that.
Yes. Totally agree. Well, yes. Well, thank you again. Can't thank you enough for being on and sacrificing part of your spring break to join me on this podcast. So
it was 45 minutes. We good.
Okay. Well,
good.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for considering me. I really do appreciate being able to represent Capricorns and everything else that, I just appreciate being able to be on the show. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah. No doubt. You're welcome. Honored to have you on. Yes, for sure. Well, yeah. Well, hey, I guess that's a wrap. And until next week, y'all, peace and thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
All right.